1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Thank you, sir.
We all ready to begin? One more mic check, please. Keep it just count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Everybody ready?
Yep.
All right. Good morning. The Orlando Police Department is currently investigating a shooting with multiple victims in downtown Orlando. At approximately 1:07 a.m., officers reported shots fired at Central Boulevard and Orange Avenue. Within minutes, a second report of shots fired was called in south of Washington Street on Orange Avenue. At this time, we are aware of 8 total victims. 2 are now deceased. 6 other individuals who were shot were transported to ORMC for further treatment. Those victims are currently in stable condition. Shortly after the report of shots fired, a shooting suspect was located and taken into custody at Washington and Orange. He has been identified as 17-year-old Jalen Dwayne Edgar. He was previously arrested for grand theft in 2023. This is still an active investigation. As we gather more information, we'll provide you with another update. So what we're going to do now is go over some videos. So this is Orange and Central. And if you follow where the blur is, play back a little bit. So you see the suspect will walk up, shot fired right there. Everybody takes off running. The suspect takes off running towards Court Street.
One more time, Chief.
Now you go to the other video. We'll play more after the video. Then the suspect reappears near Orange and play that one back, that was quick. He reappears at Orange and Washington, and then shots are fired again. If you watch the back of this pickup truck, the police pickup truck, watch the officer start moving. The officer identifies the suspect. He witnessed the shooting, takes the suspect down. Other officers come to assist. Now we're going to that officer's body cam. You can tell the shots are fired, people start to move quickly. The officer sees the suspect, moves in on him, and takes him into custody. So as you can see from this video, downtown's a very busy night. Halloween's one of our busiest nights of the year. Always is. Usually the Halloween night itself is busy, and then the Saturday after Halloween is always almost just as busy. We're doing anywhere from 50 to 100,000 people. As you can see from the picture, the crowd's gigantic, and this is just on Orange Avenue. So we're dealing with a very, very large crowd. And during this night, we had about 100 officers who were working in detail, spread out, and as you can see in all the videos, the officers responded very quickly. The officers did a great job. They responded right when they heard the shooting. You know, as everybody else is running, they're not. They're sitting in a position looking for a shooter. They found a shooter and they took him down. But right now, I'll take your questions.
Do you have any idea about the motive behind it?
No, we have the suspect. Of course, that'll be a part of our investigation, part of the interview process. As you can see, it was very quick. There wasn't a lot of conversation, so we'll figure out if he knew him or not.
At one time, there was a ban on weapons in downtown around bars and so forth. Was that still in effect, or and how did this weapon get in here?
So, I guess you're talking about when we used to do the closures, and we had the dogs and all that. That was going on downtown. That all went away with sort of the law changed. When the law changed, and basically you can carry a weapon on a public street as long as you don't meet certain criteria. As long as you meet certain criteria. So when that changed, we can no longer do that.
When the state law changed.
When the state law changed, you saw that we changed how we did downtown. We can no longer do the dogs to limit what we had downtown. I know law enforcement's always changing. We are working with the city, working with the clubs downtown to figure out if there's something else we can go to sort of keep it secure down there. As you can see, with that many people down there, we have no idea what people have, on their person, if they have grudges against somebody. Most people are down there to have a great time, and of course, you always get those few people who come down there who have, who have different things on their mind.
Are the victims known, or are they considered random to the suspect?
We're unsure of that. We're still doing an investigation.
The fact
He's
that
still
this
being
happened
interviewed.
downtown and not in the club itself, was any of these clubs equipped with any of the metal detectors? Was he frequenting any of the clubs downtown?
No, we pretty much watched him come from where he parked his car and went into, and we didn't see him going to any clubs. He pretty much walked into downtown, walked up the street, and did what he did.
What type of weapon was recovered?
A handgun.
Do you know the information on that?
No, not right now. We'll release that later. It'll be a part of the investigation.
Fired shots, or were there other shots fired by officers?
No officers fired any shots. We believe he's the only suspect right at this time whose shots were fired from.
Can you speak to the degree your law enforcement officers were acting? That law enforcement officer sees the suspect, identifies them, and immediately takes them to the ground. Kind of talk the mindset of what your law enforcement officers are encountering in downtown Orlando.
So, in downtown Orlando, but throughout the whole city, and throughout anywhere with law enforcement officers, they're always trained. They're always ready to act. As soon as they heard the shots fired, you can watch any of these videos. None of the officers, went the other way. They didn't go with the crowd. Most of them, got a little bit of cover between them. They started scanning, seeing what was going on, and then they moved. They took action to keep everybody else safe, and that's what these officers do, and that's their job, and they did it, and I'm very proud of them.
How was it they identified him as the suspect? Did they see the shot actually being fired at the Washington?
The officers saw the second shots being fired at Washington. Nobody saw the first one on Central. We used the cameras, of course, to see that, play it back, because we have that capability of playing back at major intersections. We played the camera back, saw the shooting happen. We put out his description right away, but then officers saw the second shooting happen. Because, you saw there was like 5 officers right there looking in that direction when he came up and started shooting. And he shot multiple people right there.
Can you talk about that, just how brazen this guy is? There are police officers everywhere. He still has...
Yeah, whatever his mindset was, he was going to shoot no matter what. He walked by multiple officers. We followed where he came from. He walked by at least 10 officers, walked directly by them, kept moving past the officers. So he knew what he was going to do, what he thought in his mind was going to do. It's unfortunate. Some people see somebody they don't like, somebody that they have some sort of beef with, and they take whatever action they're going to take.
To your point, when he was walking by that first initial video that you showed us, he almost walks by the victim and then leans back and points back, fires a shot, and then takes off. Are you guys investigating whether or not he may have known this person who'd been following him around that evening?
Yeah, that's a big part of what we're looking at. Did he know him? Did he just happen to stumble across somebody who's one of his enemies for whatever reason? So that's all a part of the case. But he definitely, you saw him, he looked back, saw him, walked by him, he knew exactly who he saw, shot quickly, and then moved out.
Did it look like, to be clear, was one person who died at the first scene and the second person at the second scene?
Yes.
And did it look like he followed people from the first scene to the second one, or did he just happen to see people at the second scene?
I think he just ran into the second scene because he ran down Court Street, came back up an alley, and popped back out. So, and there were people still just walking and running in different directions. Unless that person just happened to be there, from what we saw, he was walking, he was walking deliberately on Court Street, not really following anybody until he saw what he was looking for when he popped back out on Orange.
Twice he saw people, possibly saw people.
Yeah. But that's all part of our investigation. We'll be looking into all that kind of stuff and see, what it's about.
We see that the state attorney's here tonight, and we're dealing with a 17-year-old suspect with very serious type of criminal activity taking place. Do you or the state attorney want to comment on anything like that?
As far as, we definitely make the arrests. Of course, juveniles do things like this, and we give the case to the state attorney, and he does he handles it and does a great job with it and decides how we're going to prosecute. It's up to him if he wants to say anything about that. He's more than welcome to.
What can you tell us about the victims, male, female?
I don't have the information now. We'll get it all to you, but I know the victims they range all from 19 to 39 years old.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So we received a call shortly after the scene was secured. My chief of homicide is down there working with OPD and their detectives, and so this is just part of the collaborations that we put forth in our administration to make sure that we respond quickly to the needs of our community. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with the several victims that we have tonight, and so we're going to do our job to make sure that we secure justice for those victims.
Obviously, very early stages, but with a situation like this, people dead, the magnitude of people out there, would you be looking to try this juvenile as an adult, potentially?
Yeah, we're definitely something that's on the table. Obviously, from the multiple victims and the brazen nature of the crime, there's several aggravating factors that will fit inside the matrix to charge him as an adult, but we have to get to completion of the investigation first, get the case turned over to us, and then we'll take appropriate action at that point.
The chief talked about a previous arrest for the suspect. Do you have any information about that? And did he go through the system already? Had he been adjudicated?
I'm not sure about it yet. Like I said, I received a call at 2:30 this morning. Was woken up and got dressed and came out here to make sure that we're going to do our job.
This is a uniform we're not used to seeing you in. How did you prepare for this call when you got it, and what did you think and what did you do?
So you got reported as a mass shooting. So we have certain protocols for me as the chief executive of the agency. So I got put on what I'm told to put on for that situation. But this is we're ready to respond. So that's kind of my whole tactic. So I prepare myself to respond if I need to.
Do you think this suspect will be charged as an adult or a child or minor?
I think that, like I said again, based on the current information we have right now, there's several aggravating factors that would lead us to charge him as an adult, but we need to get to the bottom of the investigation first to figure out what exactly is the reason why this happened, which also plays a role in what type of charges that he's going to be facing later on.
This seems to all be coming to fruition quickly. How important is the communication and collaboration between both police department and your officer?
It's essential. I think Chief did a press conference some weeks ago. I think you were clearing at 100% of the homicides, and that's based a lot on the collaboration between my office and the OPD. Our ability to work early on in those investigations, advise and make sure that we're not missing anything and that we're making, quick, clear arrests and solving cases makes our community safer. So that's part of one of the things I really wanted to get our agency up and running when I came into office last year.
Chief Smith, you mentioned that Halloween night and the Saturday after is usually one of your busiest nights. So any preparation already kind of going on to put extra patrol out tomorrow night or just kind of essentially prevent maybe something like this again?
Well, we will definitely look at if we need to add other officers, but we're almost at 100 now. So, we have officers pretty much, as you can see, on every block, multiple officers on every block, bike patrols in between, our TAC units that are driving in the parking garages looking for, suspicious activity. We think we do a very good job. Our last major shooting was right before it began, about 2 years ago, with multiple people casualties. So, downtown's very challenging, but the officers work very hard. But we will definitely meet and look and see if we can add any more resources to the next couple of days just to get through, especially Saturday night, to get us through Saturday night.
Chief, you've taken so many steps over the years since you've become the chief and taken a pretty strong stance on security in downtown Orlando. What do you have to say to the parents that are out there that a 17-year-old is out with a firearm on Halloween night? The community tends to put this responsibility on law enforcement, but at the end of the day, this suspect came from a home somewhere. Can you talk on that a little bit?
Yeah, this is something that we can't do alone. I could put 200 officers down there, and like you saw in the video, he walked by multiple officers. He didn't really care. So it does start outside of what my job is. It starts, and I don't want to say it starts in the home, but it starts in our community coming together to work together and figure out a better way for people to solve their problems, because it's just one of those kind of things that we all know shooting people solves nothing. this person right here threw away his life. For what? You know, for some little beef or whatever's going to come out in the investigation. We all know it's not going to be the most serious thing in the world when you take somebody's life. So it's one of those kind of things we need everybody's help, but we'll continue to do what we do. We'll continue to provide heavy security downtown and have a large presence and be ready for anything that comes.
Do you think together this video surveillance, can you tell if there was any kind of altercation leading up to this, or where was his path? Where was he coming from, and how long was he downtown?
So we're going to release all that. He actually wasn't downtown that long before this happened. But the good thing about our surveillance system, we have a way of, we pretty much can see where he came from, where he walked to, who he met up with, and any conversations that happened, and sort of tell by how long to stand in front of each other what actually happened. So all that's going to come. That's part of investigation. It's all going to come out in the next day or so. There'll be more updates. There are more videos, so we'll be releasing those. We do have to clean some videos up. We have to notify next of kin in a lot of cases. Our hearts do go out to the victims. It's a terrible tragedy that happened, but we do have to notify next of kin, and there'll be more videos that we can release and get it all out to you, including his history and everything on him, the suspect.
Two more questions, that's it. You mentioned 2 deaths, but the 6 other people who were injured, were they shot by the suspect?
Yes, they were shot by the suspect there at ORMC. The last report we got was that they're all in stable condition so far.
Innocent bystanders?
We assume, but it's hard to tell because he was in such a big crowd right there. It's hard to say who his actual target was.
Are they cooperating?
The victims? I'll have to find out about that. I'm not sure. I know most of them. We did get information from them, but a lot of this we had officers witness what happened, which is a lot easier for us for testimony. Then of course, we have the cameras and all that, so it's a lot easier. But we will talk to everybody like we always do and get their statements and exactly what happened. But
Male, female victims?
we'll get all that to you. I know it's a mix. All right. Have a great night.